What up? What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? I'm gonna take y'all, man. Look, man, listen. I got my shirt made. I been had this. It's my muscle shirt, you know. Gotta get them gains in, but oh, that's my cool. But anyway, I ain't got no merch or nothing. You know what I mean? I just got this shit made from Amazon. I just put my YouTube shit on there, you know, just to wear my own shit. I might get another one. It took about a whole month, 2 months to come. But it said it was gonna take about 1 or 2 months to come, you know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I be spraying cologne on the fucking night. Let me get straight to the point. This was y'all already know what I'm finna. Let me dive deep. Let me take y'all way back, right? Let me take y'all way back to before all this shit, like, I mean, I don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna call this video yet, but let me take y'all way back to when I was, nigga. Alright. Had to leave. I'm shooting a video. I was in the party. My fucking friend joins trolling and shit. But anyway, let me take y'all way back. So before all of this shit, like this, and I'm a vent to y'all for a little minute. And this is why I talk about this shit. I ain't really been thinking about it. Well, I kind of have a little bit, but I just ain't really been, you know. And I just ain't really been, you know what I mean. This is one of the reasons. This is one of the biggest reasons why I'm distant. I'm kind of distant. This is one of the reasons why I changed. I had just in my life, you know what I mean, in general, and then, you know, why I started meditating, you know what I mean, because I was getting anxiety from all of this, like extreme anxiety and all this shit. Like I was just worrying. It was just, my mind was racing, you know what I'm saying. But before all this, I was just a little kid, you know what I mean. I first seen porn when I was probably like, dope films. Probably about, I say about 5 or 6, you know, and then until I didn't really know what the fuck it was, you know what I mean. I didn't really start watching that shit until I was like 12. But anyways, so I was 5 or 6. I didn't really know it. I was like, oh, this shit nasty. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I'm like 5 or 6. So it's like, I don't know what's going on, but I really miss the people, my parents, and, you know, my family members was on me about this shit. Like, they really, like, I wish I would have never saw it until I was like, you know what I mean, 15, 16. But, I mean, it is what it is, because this is why I got the knowledge I got now. So, with that being said, you know what I mean, then I started watching regularly when I was 12. Because it starts out of curiosity when you first see the shit. So when you first see the shit, like, you like, what the fuck? But then you probably know at the same time, you got the intuition feeling that you know you're not supposed to be watching this shit, right? But you still do it anyway, and then when you get older, about 10, I say about 10 or 11, you start jacking out and shit for the first time and all this shit. But, you know, it was just always, it started off young, bro. That's how that root starts, you know what I mean? It starts when you're young, and that's when your brain is most vulnerable. And, I mean, you can still get addicted when you grown and shit like that. I mean, you got thousands of guys, you know, addicted, and it's one of them addictions where it's like, it's on the embarrassing side, especially for men. Like, niggas is not talking about this shit. Like, the shit I'm talking about, like ED and all this shit, like, all that shit came from, like, porn and shit. Like, all them problems from me, you know what I mean? All the ED, it all came from porn. Most of my depression came from fucking porn. Like, the most extreme anxiety came from fucking porn. I mean, I still had social anxiety at one point when I was young and shit like that, extreme social anxiety. But with that being said, you know, it just starts young, bro. So I'm saying this to just, if you got kids, if you got, you know what I mean, just really watch what the fuck they looking at every day. Because, I mean, everything is programming your child, or, you know what I mean, you got sisters, you got daughter. I mean, the list goes on and on. You know, you got cousins and family members, and this is how. And then in the videos they watch, you gotta watch what they fucking, how they filming these videos. Well, what are they doing in these videos? You know what I mean? Like, if you really just sit there and think about how many times you watch porn, like, a lot of the times these women are getting abused, and, you know, all type of shit, bro. They getting abused, all type of shit. I don't know how the fuck they be finding these women. Y'all can do your own research, but I've been watching some girl stories. They be getting sold into slavery, sex slavery. And I don't know how that shit works. That shit's just crazy to me. And sex trafficking and fucking Hollywood pedophiles and all that shit. That's a whole nother topic. But, you know, this is just one of the topics, and you know what I mean. And just wanted to let y'all know right now, the motherfuckers who sex trafficking is the motherfuckers who got all the money. The motherfuckers the motherfuckers that got billions of dollars probably. I think this is what I personally think, that they doing this shit to the females, and then, you know what I mean, they get trafficked, forced into porn. I don't know how the fuck. I don't really understand. It's bizarre. It's so crazy to me. Like, and then nobody's talking about this shit. Like, these women is getting abused, and then motherfuckers, just imagine you putting that shit in a kid brain, and when he gonna continue watching. The first time he see that shit, gonna be like, what the fuck? But over time, he gets so used to the normalized porn, like the normal shit, that you feel me? He bump up a notch, and you know, and that's where you get desensitized at. You know what I mean? That's where most guys get desensitized, and addiction starts, and you know what I mean? Because you going to school and shit like that, and you not getting to play from girls, or you just too scared to talk to girls, and you just rather stay at home and be in your own zone and be watching fucking adult films and shit on the screen and all this shit. Like, this shit get crazy, bro. And then you gotta know, motherfuckers always taught us about drugs, like, when we was growing up, but they never told us about, like, addiction, like shit like this. Like, you feel me? Like, I just had to find about this shit on my own. It's like, at one point in time, you just get really, like, you just don't really understand, like, why the fuck you think something wrong with you, but in reality, this is what was programmed into you. So you gotta really come to terms and really accept what the fuck has happened to you, because it's not your fault. You feel me? At the end of the day, because for me, I blame myself, but it is kind of your fault for watching this shit. You kept watching. You know you had a problem. You know what I mean? You can fix that. But to say you got ED, depression, all this shit, and you addicted, you watch it, you didn't know that. It's like you wasn't really all the way there, because you was just focused on one shit, and nobody ever taught you. Everybody is getting lost. Like, it's like the blind leading the blind out this motherfucker. Like, you gotta watch. That's what I'm saying, bro. These kids, bro. I'm telling y'all, it's the kids, bro, that really matter right now. This generation coming up, because we gotta build a better generation. So I'm just 19, so I'm just trying to, you know what I mean. I hope somebody kids see this, or who has seen it, and, you know what I mean. Just elaborate, like, push that shit to the side, like, cause you would choose this over a real girl. You feel me? Like, or in girls, you would choose this over a real dude. Like, it sound crazy and all this shit. Motherfucker, oh, you can't get a daddy. I ain't even trying to listen to them closed-minded folk, because I've been through the shit. So I'm not even some of my folks, like, I don't even want to talk about it, because it's like, I feel so out of place to me talking about it, and just, you know, I wouldn't even say, like, I'm just scared. I just know, not even just that, and I just don't feel comfortable sharing it, because they ain't been through the same shit. And, you know, then I really just started 12, 13, just doing this shit, choking the chicken at about 12, 13, and porn, and then, well, the adult films. I keep saying the P word, but, you know, I would say it's one of the men's worst habits is watching adult films and jacking off, you know. That's one of the worst men's habits. Just imagine if you would just stop jacking off, and you would just start putting that energy towards your female, and then just working out. You know what I mean? Just not even, I wouldn't even say put all that sexual energy towards a female. You could just apply that shit to your real life and shit like that. But majority of the society gonna tell you to, man, watch porn and all that shit. I really don't, man. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But man, this is. Let me get back to the kids. The kids part, bro. They program you. Like I said, let me touch back on this. You gotta watch what they promoting in these videos, like the abuse and all this shit. All this shit is getting normalized. The rape, and the 70-year-old with an 70-year-old man with an 18-year-old girl, and all this shit, and all it. It's all type of crazy shit. You see all type of crazy shit. You got bestiality. You got all this different types of shit, and then they promote rape, right? They promote rape and wonder why motherfuckers do this shit. They promote this shit. So if they gonna promote it and put that in young kids' brains, I can imagine what it does to like a 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old. I mean, they know it's wrong, but it's like it does something to your fucking brain. We still young. Our brain is still, well, I'm still young. I'm 19, but it would affect that nigga way worse for him watching porn if he like 12 and I'm 19. You feel me? So Just like I said, bro, just watch what you program yourself at the end of the day. So everything you watch here, you gotta watch everything, bro. You gotta watch this shit. Like, this shit is not no game no more. Like, motherfuckers, you on your own with this shit now. Like, I'm just here to message. I'm just here to message. I don't need to, you know what I mean? I just repost this shit to somebody who going through this shit. You ain't even really gotta just post it, because everybody just, like, this nigga weird, this nigga this nigga that. I'm being myself. I'm gonna tell y'all this. For the longest, I tried to be somebody else, like, right, on YouTube. And when I first started on this channel, before I changed the name, I tried to be somebody else. And then when I started talking about my own shit that I was going through, that's when I started gaining true fans and viewers and shit like that. So this is not something that I'm fucking reading. You know what I mean? This is not something I'm reading. This is shit I go through. Like, I'm saying, and shit I research. Shit I go through and shit I research. So I'm not even trying to sit up here and lie to y'all and bullshit. Like, this ain't no fucking game. But, man, y'all still struggling with this shit, man. Just hang in there, dog. It's a long ass road, man. I'm damn sure still on my journey. I still got a long ass road, but you know what I mean? It is what it is. But I'm out this bitch.